You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
From Myrtle Beach Speedway, the SCL Late Model Series is ready to rock and roll right here on the Grand Strand. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Palmetto State and the beautiful sunny coastline of South Carolina. Tonight, Chris Myers, Chad Jones, Brendan Cornier, Derek Wegman, and the rest of the usual suspects are ready to lead us here around Myrtle Beach Speedway. A once thought to be defunct raceway lives forever right here on iRacing, and we are more than glad to bring that to you right here on Sim Racing Media. I'm Dave Regal here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth, and I want to thank you for making us a part of your evening, because I'll be with you every step of the way, from the green flag to the checkered flag, right here on Sim Racing Media. And folks, I want to thank you once again for making us a part of your evening, because you know, without folks like you paying attention and seeing what we do here at SRM, it just wouldn't be worth getting on the track. And speaking of getting on the track, Matt Mingo here in the 12 car after a pretty strong finish at the end of our Street Stock Series just a few moments ago right here at Myrtle Beach, is currently being timed in 4th position. Justin Lewis and Todd Merkel atop the timing line right now, as Lewis only needed one lap to complete his pole position run. Justin Carby here in the 07 finishing his qualifying run. He's in that City Chevrolet machine. Of course, all of them Chevrolets tonight here in the late model series. Adam Lowe just went second fastest in the number 58 Menards Ford, as Barrett Flo finishing his second lap, hauling it out of turn number 4, crossing the start-finish line, and Flo does not improve his position but remains in 5th after his qualifying effort. Of course, just one driver not qualifying yet, and that is Chief Cook and Bottle Washer Josh Tarrant Hill in the number 8 machine, as he's sitting at the end of pit road waiting his turn, as it looks like he may go out for a qualifying run. We can only hope. And while we wait for Josh to go out and log that lap in, we want to take a look at our race info. Of course, here just a few moments away from the beach, about 3 miles, 20 minutes or so, depending on traffic, here at the LMSC 50 at Myrtle Beach Speedway. 72 degrees in the stands as Hill pulls off a pit road to get on that outlap. 105 degrees the track temperature, so obviously the sun beating down on this place. And I'll tell you what, as somebody who has spent extensive amounts of time in Myrtle Beach, that 105 degrees on the asphalt is more like 2,000 degrees on the sand. You can ask the bottom of my sunburned feet. Of course, just about a month and a half ago, I was in Myrtle Beach and thought, it's September. I don't need sunscreen, and instead I wound up with a trip to the hospital. So we'll get more into that later if time allows. But Josh Tarrant Hill on his first lap, running through here. Looks like we're going to see just what happens as he's going to roll out and back toward the flag stand. Looks like he is going to go 14th fastest as he cools it on down. But this racetrack, a really cool place, of course, currently has been bulldozed. And, of course, they're getting ready to redevelop this area, as much of Myrtle Beach is. And, unfortunately, a place like this, which to me just had so much history locked up in it, is becoming part of the memory slideshow, if you will, of Myrtle Beach. In fact, we'll be able to see a little bit later where some of the outlets are. And right now, where all of this is, I stood right here in the middle where the garage area is, and there's nothing but dirt around it right now. You can see where the racetrack used to be. You can see that little quad oval, that little dog leg, if you will. As the race is gridding up, we're wasting no time at all this evening, as right now still waiting for Justin Lewis and Barrett Flo to come out. Driver's going to have no extra sets of tires, so those 4 pieces of rubber on the axles tonight are going to be what they get around here. With 50 laps the scheduled distance, 15 cars scheduled to take the green flag when it comes through. So obviously right now that iRacing.com pace truck, the official pace truck, looks tonight like it is to be a Chevrolet Silverado, as Ding Dong right here in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth, dinner has been served, and with no floof powder, a peanut butter and chocolate cookie here to the broadcast booth. And the review here in the broadcast booth is absolutely delicious for the peanut butter chocolate cookie that was just delivered here. Just waiting for pole sitter Justin Lewis to get in his machine, as Barrett Flo going to join him on the outside of row number 1. Once Justin hops on in there, we can go through this starting lineup in a little bit more detail. 15 cars, as I had mentioned, getting ready to take the green flag tonight. A lot of privateers, not too many teammates out there, according to our overlay. Going to take a walk through our starting lineup. Justin Lewis, our pole sitter from Columbius, Indiana, going to start on the inside of row number 1, has the pole position. Outside pole belongs to Mr. Barrett Flo in the 92. Adam Lowe joins him on row number 2 on the inside from Chesterfield, Michigan. On the outside of row number 2, going to be Todd Merkel from Dearborn, Michigan. So a couple of Michigan boys here on row number 2. Row number 3, Chris Myers out of Chesapeake, Virginia, but not that Chris Myers. Going to have his row partner from Ellsworth, Maine, Matt Mingo, in the number 12. Chad Jones going to be featured here in row number 4. Let's see if we can get these camera angles just a little bit better. There we go. In the 75, on the outside of row number 4, going to be Justin Carby in the 07. Row number 5 made up of Casey Wynn and Brendan Cornier, who just finished second in our Street Stock Series. Everybody shuffling around now. Derek Wegman and Mike Rink are going to make up row number 6. Todd Russ going to be starting in 14th and starting shotgun on the field. Chief Cook and Bottle Washer here in the SCL Series, Josh Tarrant Hill from Mooresville, North Carolina. As I mentioned, 50 laps the scheduled distance tonight. Under caution, the laps will not count. So, you know, if you wreck on lap number 4, it will be lap 4 until the green flag flies again. So just a little bit of a different rule package here in the SCL Series, but no worries for that. As the iRacing.com pace truck gets ready to haul us on down here. The iRacing.com pace truck lights are out, so we will be going green flag racing this time. Drivers getting ready, everybody kind of making sure that those gloves are all tightened up. And we do something a little bit different here for our call to green now that we're all nice and settled in. Pace truck bringing us down the backstretch, and here we go.
Pace car starting to pick up a little bit of pace as they come out of turn number 4. Pace car's getting ready to peel it on off. It's going to make that hard left turn down pit road as we get ready to turn them loose. Field thing is left to say it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Race fans, it's showtime!
Justin Lewis with a good jump over Barrett Flo and Adam Lowe. Flo and Lowe getting nice and tight here against that wall, while the 24 of Chris Myers shoves around the 58 of Adam Lowe. Getting themselves all cranked up here nice and early, as just behind the 07 of Justin Carby, looking to the inside of Todd Merkel. Merkel holding the high line. He's going to have to allow the 07 in if he wants to avoid an early issue, as we can already see the 07 getting loose as they go fender to fender here into turn 1. It shoves Merkel up the track, and that actually costs him 2 positions. If he would have just let him in, it probably would have only been 1. A little bit of a connection issue here from the 9 car. That's Mike Rinker in the Winston No Bull Chevrolet. Pretty much everybody going single file right now. Chad Jones working the high side of Derek Wegman. That's your only side-by-side battle as we get underway here on lap number 4. These drivers did a great job getting through 30 laps in the Street Stock Series just a moment ago right here on Sim Racing Media, as we are once again underway. Lap number 5 now, as Derek Wegman gets the edge over Chad Jones and makes the pass. Justin Carby still leading Todd Merkel here, as Merkel looking to the inside now, as Rinker calling out the connection issue here. Oh, the 2 in the 07 make contact. That's Carby and Merkel as they exchange a little bit of paint here coming out of turn number 4. And here on lap number 8, we are under caution. Just as we were kind of checking out some different camera angles, we will go right back to this. As we can see the 05, just behind a battle between the 24 and what looks to be the 58. A little rubbing. Still looking, oh, there it is. That was the 24 involved there. That's Chris Myers. Let's run that back and see. Taking a look right here at the 24 and the 58. Oh, the 58 cuts down over top of the 24. We'll take another look at this from another angle. Let's see if we can get this coming out here. Wow. Definitely no way that you want to start that. That's for sure. As we look one more time from the 58's perspective. You can see the 58 was trying to hold his ground and just kind of let it fly a little too soon, if you will. So Justin Lewis going to be your race leader once again, followed by Barrett Flo, Mike Rinker, and now everything shuffles. Going to be Justin Lewis, Barrett Flo, Mike Rinker, Derek Wegman, and Brendan Cornier. As we will have one to green this time around. The iRacing.com pace truck brings us out of turn 4 as these drivers ready to double up, rack 'em, stack 'em, and do it all over again. Justin Lewis going to have control of the field as he comes into turn number 4. The man in the stand has the green flag in his hand. Justin Lewis waiting for the signal as he comes out of 4. He hits the loud pedal and we're back underway. You can really hear these machines starting to crank up those RPMs as they come whizzing past the camera. Lewis and Flo battling it out here on the backstretch into turn number 3. Todd Myrtle a little bit further back here in the 2. Just ahead of that City Chevrolet driven by Justin Carby. Almost no real estate anywhere on the racetrack. Right now the 35 trying to hold off the double nickel of Brendan Cornier. Cornier peeking to the inside of the 39, as he has that Whalen Folds of Honor paint scheme going on right now. That looks fantastic too with the red, white, and blue, that's for sure. As we're taking a look right now at Derek Wegman trying to hold him off. Todd Myrtle, though, starting to creep in on Josh Tarrant-Hill, who has worked himself up 6 positions now and is in 8th place, running just behind Matt Mingo. A little bit of real estate, though, between himself and the 12. And at this stage in the race, not the end of the world. Of course, tonight he's got that tracker, bit of a Junior Motorsports paint scheme going here as he looks to the inside of the 12, thinks better of it once again. He sets himself up on the inside of just about every turn. And as we get closer and closer here, we can see he's going to have that number 8 all kinds of dialed in. Checking in on our leaders right now. Kind of quiet on the western front, if you will. You can see about 0.3 of a second between Lewis and Flo. That lead's starting to evaporate as we take a peek back here at Derek Wegman, who's also starting to get into a hot and heavy battle with Rinker and Brendan Cornier. Mike Rinker trying to throw the block right in front here of Wegman. Wegman trying to find any kind of way he can to get around him. And while he's trying to do that, it's opening the door for the 55 to start creeping in on the 39. 18 laps in of 50 right here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Dave Regal in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth. I want to thank you for making us a part of your evening. And of course, if you're watching us over on YouTube and you've got the live chat up, make sure that you give us a shout in the youtube.com live chat. Let us know who you're pulling for and what you're after. And I'll tell you what, right now, this race just starting to heat up as we approach the halfway point on lap number 20. Brendan Cornier starting to look once again to the inside of the 39. We're going to ride along with Cornier as we go here. Going to ride along with the gyro cam on the inside of the 55. Cornier keeps on peeking here, and he thinks he's going to get him, and it's almost like maybe he's got to figure out another way as he bites one of those turtles and spins to the outside here. He's still keeping it pushing forward, but you can see he's trying to undercut Wegman just in front of him. It doesn't seem to be working out very well right now. He may wind up chewing up those tires, as Myrtle Beach is known for being more like a cheese grater here on the low side. We can see where, if you look right there, coming down the back chute. In fact, we'll see if we can get to the back chute here. You can see that dark stretch right there, where right here in the middle of your screen where the cars are coming out. When they get loose coming out of turn number 2, they're naturally trying to take where all of that grip is coming out of 2 and down the back stretch. So we're going to see that turn into Calamity Corner as these tires start to give in a little bit. Even as Barrett Flo follows Justin Lewis here. Derek Wegman now starting to be harassed just a little bit more. He can't really make any ground up on Rinker, as Mike Rinker has about a consistent 0.2 of a second over Derek Wegman. Todd Russ, meanwhile, starting to go in the right direction as he is trying to claw his way up and around Adam Lowe. Adam Lowe on the recovery drive, trying to get back around Todd Russ. As wow, the rear end of the 58 is absolutely loose as a goose, if you will. While Mike Rinker's still trying to hold off Derek Wegman. So some battles all over the racetrack tonight. We want to thank you for making us a part of your evening. We're going to step aside and pay some bills right here on Sim Racing Media.
Imagine a theater experience so real you're part of the action. Breakthrough technology that shakes your seat at precisely the right moment so you can feel the action on the screen. Choose 4D Cinemas powered by Butt Kicker for the ultimate theater experience. And for the ultimate in movies, gaming, and sports at home, add your own Butt Kicker. A simple, wireless, affordable device that takes just seconds to install. Text the word on the screen right now to receive a special offer. Get Butt Kicker and feel what you've been missing.
Welcome back to the Grandstand, where Justin Lewis is leading Barrett Flo and Mike Rinker here in the SCL Late Model Stock Car Tour event right here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Dave Regal in the Tony Trapasso Memorial Broadcast booth, bringing you all of the action. Right now it's starting to heat up here, mid-pack to rear, as Todd Merkel trying to hold off Justin Carby, the rookie, who just about tried to hurl it down here into turn 3 into turn 4, as he's got the rear end of the 07 trying to step out on him like a dad who was going for milk and not coming back home. Meanwhile, Justin Lewis starting to gain on Barrett Flo a little bit, as Flo starting to let about 0.3 of a second of a leash between himself and Lewis. Derek Wegman, though, has been the story of the night, harassing the rear bumper of Mike Rinker and being followed by Brendan Cornier. Cornier kind of lurking here like a lion in the weeds, if you will, as he's basically just waiting for Wegman or Rinker to make a mistake, and Wegman trying to hedge his bet on it being Rinker who makes that little flick of the wrist. 10 laps to go now in this event. Of course, brought to you, as always, by the Bulldog here. Glad to have everybody in with us tonight in the youtube.com live chat. Let us know who you're pulling for, what you're watching for right here in the SCL Late Model Stock Car Tour, right here on Sim Racing Media. Of course, as we had mentioned before, here on SRM, we're back here with the SCL Series, and we cannot be thankful, or any more thankful, that's for sure. Make sure you head on over to simracingmedia.com. You can check out some of the merch that, of course, our ad was just mentioning a moment ago. I know I personally am waiting for my SRM hoodie, as it's getting a little chilly here in the Northeast. Of course, my mom lives just about 15 minutes away from this particular former racetrack, if you will. But she's down there, shorts and a t-shirt, nice and comfy in Myrtle Beach. Meanwhile, it's flippin' frigid up here with now 6 laps to go. Justin Carby to the inside now of Todd Merkel. A little bit of oh, they make some contact here as he nudges Todd Merkel out of the way. Merkel can't be happy with that because, of course, Carby seems to be having some kind of connection issue that we can see here on our broadcast. And as a driver on the track, that can be incredibly distracting and, quite frankly, unnerving. In fact, we'll watch here from Merkel's perspective on the nose. You're going to watch Carby start to disappear. Of course, now that we're watching him, maybe he won't. There he goes. See, it's going to be hard for Merkel to try to judge where he wants to put that number 2's nose, as now he's got an armful of Adam Lowe just on that left rear quarter panel. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Justin Lewis still leading here ahead of Barrett Flo. Lewis, as he comes down into turn number 3, the popsicle sticks are coming out of their wrappers. He rolls it out of turn number 4. Those popsicle sticks are going in the air, and we are 2 to go. Justin Lewis has dominated this race from flag to flag so far. He's only got another lap and a half, now lap and a quarter to go, as he hauls it into 3 out of 4 once more. The white flag is in the air. We're racing back to checkers. Justin Lewis, all night long out of Columbus, Indiana, has been our leader and will not give it away. Second position, Barrett Flo, as they qualified. They're going to follow the same way. The checkered flag is in the air, and Justin Lewis wins here at Myrtle Beach Speedway. A great race run by Justin Lewis, Barrett Flo, and Mike Rinker atop the pile. They're followed by Derek Wegman, Brendan Cornier, Chad Jones, Matt Mingo, Josh Tarrant-Hill, Justin Carby, and Todd Merkel, as Justin Lewis makes his way here into victory lane. You just got to back up the old machine a little bit further there, Justin. Back. stay. Just waiting for our drivers to get into our waiting room here as we get Mike Rinker loaded up. And here we are with our race winner, Justin Lewis. Hey, Justin, it's Dave up in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Pretty good. I can try to mute the race control.
Oh, we'll just give them a second here.
Should be okay now.
Sorry about that, Justin. It never fails. I've got the timing of a bomb.
Every time I get ready to do an interview, it's always somebody saying something and anything. So it's like, can you guys shut up?
Well, listen, you bring home the checkered flag here on the Grand Strand tonight. I mean, what a place to bring home the checkered flag in a late model. It harkens back to Dale Earnhardt Jr., of course, in the early time of his career. How are you feeling tonight in the JL Racing number 7?
It was pretty good. I struggled to get the time I wanted when it came to practice, but I don't know where it came from in qualifying. But what I was trying to run in practice, which my optimal time was about that, I couldn't hit it, couldn't find it. But I did the same thing I did in practice and blew that time out of the water. And then seen some time left and had an extra lap for qualifying, so I was like, I'll try to run a faster one. I did. I was like, oh, okay. But this has kind of been my bread and butter on Tuesday nights all season for this car. I think my worst finish so far is a second in this series for the normal thing, and then we won the Triple Crown Championship last week with basically 2 wins and a second in that. So, I mean, at all the races, I think I've had 2 seconds this year tops in this car, and then the street stocks have been the same thing. I mean, if we haven't won the race, we were second. I think my 2 of my drops right now are 2 second-place finishes. So we've been on a roll. I'm hoping to keep it going and see what we can do from here.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice when you're able to get yourself everywhere that's either first, second, or, oh my, a drop. I'll drop that second. I mean, you know, as somebody who went before I got out of the car and started full-time broadcasting, I mean, you know, a lot of times I thought maybe the leader gets bored up there after a while. You're hitting your marks. I mean, you were consistent this entire race. You didn't come off of that line. I mean, did you start to feel any tire wear, or were you just able to compensate for that?
Well, with this car, the key to, you know, keeping 50 laps underneath is just not burning up the right front early in these races. So I kind of try to baby it a little bit, you know, usually back off 2 to 3 tenths early, and then Barrett kind of started coming on there a little earlier than I wanted him to, so I kind of picked it up a little bit, but really the times just kind of stayed consistent. I think I was like 2 or 3 tenths off where my quick lap was in this race, which was like a 1930 or something. And then toward the end, it was starting to pick up a little bit more, but if you missed your line a little bit, you'd really notice like a tenth or two every lap. So I think I kept looking down. I think I ran like a 1950 for at least 10 or 15 laps in a row, because I just glanced to see like was that lap pretty consistent or was it not consistent. And as long as the last lap board on the screen stays within a thousandths or something, I feel pretty good about it. But no, it's been a fun car. I really enjoy this car. They only run it for this league. It's street stock, so I only run it for this league too. So it's impressive for me to come in here and feel good about my chances anytime I get in the car.
Absolutely, man. Well, listen, we'll see you in 2 weeks over at Hickory, but before we cut you loose, who do you need to thank?
You guys for finally coming back on the Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I've been begging for that all year. It's like every time I do good, it's off broadcast. Mondays have been brutal for me. And then we would go to Tuesday nights, and I basically dominate and couldn't show anything unless it was in the Discord chat, which they get tired of me every once in a while now because I'm constantly winning these things, which it's not like I'm not trying to get of a good fight, but it's just I've got something going with this car, and I don't know really what it is, but I refuse to tell anybody. the secrets I found, because I still don't know them myself. But the trucks will be fun tomorrow. Hopefully we can rally back at Talladega. I don't know if you guys got that one or not. I think you do.
Yeah, I believe you should have John or Frank on the call for that tomorrow night. And believe you
Sweet.
me, we're glad to be back with you as well. I mean, we had some personnel issues after the loss of Tony Trapasso, so we definitely went. We were basically down one really big bat in our lineup. So
Right. And I know a couple of us from SCL came and ran the modified race, the tribute race for him.
Yep.
I think we actually had a good showing. I think SCL went like 1-2
your
and
league
fifth.
and the Moonshiners had like the biggest out of everybody that we call.
Yeah, which I never ran that car for like 3 years until that race, so that was pretty impressive. I felt pretty good about it. But no, before I forget, I want to thank Todd Myrtle Racing Engines. He jumped on the hood for all the series this year, or this season. And then again, of course, Josh and Adam and our RC for doing their jobs. It makes this race fun, makes this clean. And we've really stepped up our game when it came to Tuesday nights. So glad to have you guys back, glad to be back. And we'll hopefully talk to you soon tomorrow.
All right, my friend. Listen, congratulations on the win tonight, and we'll see you in 2 weeks over at Hickory.
Thanks, man. See ya.
That, of course, the voice of Justin Lewis, your race winner. Up next is Barrett Flo. Hey, Barrett, it's Dave up in the broadcast booth. You got me?
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, man, listen, another good finish here at Myrtle Beach. I mean, how do you find yourself in these positions to be, first or second on the podium?
It's just luck. Just luck. That's all it is.
I mean, listen, you had the 92 on the bumper of the 7 all night long. I mean, Justin was hard to catch tonight, and you had him by about you were down to like just less than 0.2 of a second, but then he extended that lead back out to 0.3. I mean, did you maybe cook it a little bit too much too soon, or were you just not able to catch the speed?
Yeah, I just pushed it probably. I felt like I needed to get by him, but just probably pushed it a little bit too hard, and then he was able to. I guess that was the last 10 laps, 15 laps, was able to pull away from me. So he did a really good job. So he was the best car won.
Absolutely, man. Well, listen, in 2 weeks, first of all, being here at Myrtle Beach is always special, especially because it seems like some racetracks will never, ever go away ever again just because of the magic of iRacing. But, right now we're Justin's doing donuts on the front stretch. I stood there about a month and a half ago, and it's incredible to know that iRacing can keep these tracks alive, especially like Myrtle Beach. And now in 2 weeks, we're looking at Hickory. So how do you feel going into Hickory?
Well, just like what we said in the street stock race, I think we'll be fine at Hickory. I think, we'll, top 3 car, or should be anyway. So we'll just, see how it goes, man.
I just caught myself doing it too. I mean, I got to remember that although that I'm a Yankee from the north, I can't say Hickory. It's down here. It's Hickory. There's no O in there.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
But listen, before I cut you loose, who do you need to thank for tonight's race?
I just need to really thank the admins and the guys who really have to, look at the incident report and plan all this crap, because that's a lot of work. And so just gotta thank those guys for putting up with all our dumbasses.
All right, my friend. Well, listen, we'll see you in a couple of weeks at Hickory. We're glad to have you back on SRM, and we'll see you then.
Okay, buddy. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. And that was the voice of Barrett Flo, who finished second tonight. Last but certainly not least on the podium, Mr. Mike Rinker in the No Bull Winston machine. Hey, Mike, it's Dave up in the booth. You got me? Mike Rinker, you got me? Hey, Mike, it's Dave up in the booth. You there? Mike, you got to key up on your Discord. I can hear him on race radio, but you folks at home can't. One more time. Hey, Mike, it's Dave up in the booth. You got me? Well, I guess we've not been able to get a hold of Mike, unfortunately. We had that issue earlier in the street stock race, but here we are at the end of the SCL Late Model Stock Car Tour from right here at Myrtle Beach. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad to be back here in the saddle, if you will, with Sim Racing Media at the SCL Late Model Tour. I love late model racing. I love short track racing. It's something special that we get to see. And I mean, tonight, these drivers were incredible from start to finish. I mean, 50 laps, only one caution for cause, and nothing major going on the racetrack. No screaming, no fighting. That's something special on the iRacing.com servers. And we'll get into that as our season continues here on Sim Racing Media. One final look at the results here for the SCL Late Model Stock Car Tour at Myrtle Beach Speedway. Justin Lewis brings home the checkered flag. He's joined on the podium by Barrett Flo and Mike Rinker in the 92 and the 9. Derek Wegman finishes in 4th, followed by Brendan Cornier, the rookie, in 5th in his double nickel machine. Chad Jones finishes in 6th with Matt Mingo, Josh Tarrant Hill, Justin Carby, and Todd Merkel rounding out your top 10, while Adam Lowe and Jason Crumley finished 11th and 12th. Todd Russ and Casey Wynn finished 13th and 14th, and rounding out the rest of your field after just 8 laps. Just 8 laps, Chris Myers finishes off in 15th position. We're going to try one more time because I think Mike Rinker's trying to get a hold of us here in Discord. Hey, Mike, can you open your mic in Discord? No? Unfortunately, I don't think we can hear him. Mike, you have to go into your settings and go to whichever hotkey you have to trigger your Discord. Well, unfortunately, I don't think we can hear Mike Rinker of the number 9, but maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him in 2 weeks when we go to Hickory, North Carolina, as the Late Model Stock Car Series going to continue right here on Sim Racing Media. I want to thank all of you for making us a part of your evening right here on Sim Racing Media, and for myself and everybody else on our team, we want to thank you for giving us the option, or the opportunity, I should say, to be here with you tonight on YouTube.com. So I want to thank you once again. Oh, let's see if he's got it figured out now. Michael? You got to change your microphone input to whatever you're using to talk into, because I can't hear you. Sorry about that, Mike. But listen, I want to thank all of you once again for joining us tonight. And tomorrow, as you go through your day, remember, you're special. You're the only one like you. And that's good enough for me. Good night, everybody.